All right. Let's see how long this stream lasts before the internet problems start. The internet has been completely perfect. We had no problems last night. We've had no problems all day. So we'll see. I don't even want to fight about it. I not even want to fight about it. Just like the Panthers last night. Don't even want to fight about it. Just throw it out there and see what happens. Hey, Derek. Yeah. Yeah. Smoking a pancake. Colin, Icy, are we cooked? Are we cooked? Well, it's such an interesting question. Such an interesting question. Michael says we're coming back and tying this 2-2. Kenneth says no. Coot says officially put up or shut up time. Chopper, how you doing, bud? I wouldn't say that we're cooked. I would say this, and this is something that you guys probably already have recognized. Don't believe a damn thing Paul Maurice says. He said last night was Chucky's best game. Now, what I genuinely want to know from somebody who's played the game, I've skated, but I've never played ice hockey. Is there the possibility that because his groin is still injured and he can't put the right twist into his hips, is that why every pass is wildly off? Like wildly off the mark. Every pass, every shot. I mean, it's bad. And I'm just curious if it would seem to me to make ergonomical sense that would be the thing. Chopper says Maurice is washed. Hey, Ryan. Ryan, don't laugh yet, bro. Don't laugh yet, Ryan. Save it. Ryan, you've been waiting 2 years to laugh. Don't laugh too early, man. Huh? Don't shoot your wad too early, Ryan. You waited a long time to laugh at us. I don't want to see you with egg on your face, man. All right? Hold on your moment. Yeah, and I didn't think it would be a problem, Ryan. I mean, Wohl's playoff record is good. You know what I mean? Ariel says they look sluggish with their passes and a step behind on those 2-on-1s. Leafs taking advantage of those mistakes. Yeah, they're just sitting back waiting for us to make mistakes. And, Michael, you're right. We've been giving up those breakaways all year. And, without Montour, especially back there, Schmidt is trying to be Montour, and it's not. It's not. Ryan says, I've been saving this from 3 years ago. Yeah. So just hold, Ryan. Don't laugh yet. If it's 3-0, you could get a little frisky, but at 2-0, with 2 still in Florida, I would still keep the powder dry. Oh, God help us. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Steven says, is Mo not watching the same games we are? Maurice is just being positive for his players' sake, right? We're not tired. Chucky had his best game ever. What's anybody talking about? Didn't you guys see Chucky going in there to the corners and winning all those board battles and battling for position in front of the net? You didn't see that? Because I guess that's what Maurice said. Maurice said he was generating, and I will agree there. The problem is he was generating offense for the other team. That's the problem. Dana says, well, Paul just needs to do some coaching, just win one game and then on to the next and win one more. Yeah. Ryan Rebelo says, Panthers are just tired guys. Leafs are shockingly the better team right now. And yeah, I mean, look, we could still come back and win. We could still come back and win the cup. So I'm not burying us. But it's been since the 1980s Oilers, since the team made 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row with full 82-game seasons. So, I mean, eventually, Kyle and I are going to stream a game where the Panthers have been eliminated. I mean, it's going to happen, right? Unless we win the cup again and then we retire. Chopper, let me see. What'd you say? Hold on, bud. Let me scroll up. If we had Perbix and Lilleberg, defense would be better than whatever Mikula and Kulikov are doing right now. Well, and again, I mean, these guys have played a lot of minutes, Kulikov especially, right? But he did have that time off because of the injury. So, look, Toronto's good. Toronto is good, and they have the right coach to figure out how to take advantage of the deficiencies that the Panthers have. No team is perfect. And what Toronto is doing is taking advantage of their speed. But do you notice something? Do you notice that when Florida does get what looks like it's going to be a break, there's almost always two defensemen back for Toronto? They are playing Panther hockey, and the Panthers are doing I don't know what, because there's no reason for us to be losing these games because Schmidt and Kulikov are pinching too much. That is just dumb. That's just dumb. If we lose 2-1 because we couldn't put one in the back of the net because we were being too defensive, I mean, so be it. But it's frustrating to watch because there's multiple things going on. The Leafs are better right now. Whether it's they're fresher, whether they want it more. I mean, let's be honest. The motivation between what Toronto has and what Florida has, it's different, you know? Colin says that the top six need to be changed. Vincent says, yeah, they're losing in the same fashion they did to Vegas. That's the first thing I said to Kyle last night, Vincent, once the stream was over. I said, it's starting to remind me of Vegas. The top six, you need Samoskevich with Bennett. I think even though Samoskevich wasn't able to lift that puck, at least he had a chance, right? I don't think there's anything you can do with the top six. I really don't. You're not going to move Tkachuk down, and Reinhardt's not going to suddenly find game one of the season energy. Reinhardt's not wanting to do the work. Barkov's doing what he can. And, I mean, Brad Marchand's our best player right now. Brad Marchand's our best player right now. And what, you know, he hasn't been on 2 long playoff runs in a row. You know? Michael says, is it just me as Mikula the least skilled hockey player I've ever seen? He shouldn't. I mean, he's got a decent shot if he stays above the circle and everything. He's looked off, and I'm not making an excuse, but I just wonder how healthy he is. He could be fine, but he's just not looked like himself. And I mean, we already know from last year he's solid. This isn't like playoff nerves or something. Everybody's just a little bit off. Craig, yeah, there's just no reason to cheat for the offensive game right now. Right, yeah, that's what's cooking him is the D is getting caught pinching, right? Krabs, you think move Carter to the fourth? Rodriguez, Barkov, Reinhardt. Oh, Boulevard. So did Quenneville get hired? Or as I heard he had an interview, I didn't know if he got hired. Craig, yeah, third line is the best player, right? Chopper's got Rodriguez, Barkov, Reinhardt, Samoskevich, Bennett, Verhaeghe. Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand, Tkachuk, Greer, Gadjevich. Wait, who's going to take faceoffs in the fourth line? I don't think Greer's a center. I don't actually mind that, Chopper. I don't mind it at all the way Chucky's playing, but number one, he ain't never going to do it. And number two, we got nobody on that fourth line to take faceoffs. You got to have Sturm or Nosek out there. Hey, Bucks Rays. Kenneth says it's very odd to see other fan bases saying the Leafs may actually have a team that might be different this year. It's possible. It's they got to finish. Let's put it this way, Kenneth. They have a different team. They've got one hurdle left to climb right now, and that is, can they finish this series off? Because that's really the question with the Leafs at this point, is can they finish this team off? Can they finish off the reigning Stanley Cup champs? I don't know. A lot of people thought this was going 7. Unless Florida wins 4 straight, it's going 7, unless obviously Toronto wins it earlier than that. I think if Florida, this sounds stupid to say, but obviously I think if it gets tied 2-2, it's going 7. I don't think Florida's winning 4 straight. So the Leafs look good. Paul says, who's this Boquist guy I see on the ice? Icy says, it's awful to say losing in the second round would be good for the upcoming season so we can rest and recover. I think the only benefit to losing at all would be to hunger these guys again. They don't look as hungry. But look, you can't, if you could repeat that emotion every year, somebody would just be the cup champ every year, right? 2 straight runs to the finals. And what we're seeing in this series, we didn't see it so much in Tampa, but what we're seeing in this series is pretty much a repeat of a lot of things that we saw during the regular season, with the exception of that we're putting the puck in the back of the net a little bit more. But how many times did we see the regular season? The breakaways, can't hold a lead. We had 2 leads last night. And then we broke, and we blew the tie as well. So, that's been all season long. Ariel, yeah. So Coach Q got hired by the Ducks. That should go. That's interesting. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. Yeah, the embellishment that was. It didn't give anybody, it didn't give Toronto a power play, so it was just kind of like whatever. But, it's not like he laid there on the ice writhing in pain. He grabbed his face a little bit, and Rodriguez just has a very expressive face. I don't know what the ref saw. It was interesting because all the TV commentators were like, yeah, I don't know what the embellishment is there. White smoke. Thank you, Derek. Metal says Mikla has been off as well as taking many stupid penalties. Yeah. Anthony, yeah, the fourth line is not. Greer says Chucky off the ice. He's hurt. Bolvar, he says, apparently the Ducks spent weeks doing a background check to see if he was telling the truth about the Kyle Beach incident. Oh, boy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here. Did Beach over the summer say something about, like, he thought it was okay if Q came back? I don't remember a lot from this summer, so don't flame me if I'm wrong there. But I thought I heard his name in the news at some point. Did he come out and say something? Or is that just my imagination? Lil J says, I'm still not convinced with Toronto. Jaws may be right. Tampa may be done, and the same with us. I wonder what happens with Bennett if we lose this series. I wonder if they work hard to keep him around, or if they'll just move Lundell up. Right. Yeah, Connor, that's a good point. It's not like they're winning faceoffs anyway about the fourth line. Right. Ryan says Nylander and Tavares are cooking the Panthers offensively. Matthews and Mitch shutting down defensively, and Wohl's just as good as Stoley. That pretty much sums it up. Yeah, Derek, Chucky's not right. It's a shame. It's a shame. And nobody's in front of the net. Nobody is in front of the net. Ariel says, yeah, we have to tie the series right now. Exactly. Connor says, I'm a Leaf fan, and I really don't have faith in them finishing this series, but if they do, they're going to the final. Connor, that would be my one thing is that if the Leafs do win this series, I think the Leaf fan base is going to be absolutely devastated if they don't win the cup, because I think most people would have the assumption that anybody that can win the cup, beat the Panthers, can win the cup, except Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen is a problem. Holy hell. How come we didn't get him? I'm kidding. I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom because I know I'm way behind. Miss, why didn't we sign OEL? It's just a matter of, it was just a matter of money. You know, we had that Spencer Knight contract to deal with, and there was no way to move him to make any extra space, and we just didn't have any money. Kase says Rhino used to fight for space and get his chances. He seems much less interested, and that's unacceptable. I just think everybody is I mean, I don't want to use the excuse, but it is what it is. Yeah, Pente, I agree. It's more about the Panthers, right? So Case says, I want to hear some accountability. Rhino just acts like nothing is doing is wrong. Rhino is just straight out bad right now. Bob seems like he's lost confidence. But the multiple breakaway goals, right? Blended. Yeah, we talked about it just for a brief second. No, it's a good thing it didn't affect the outcome of the game, right? It's calls like that I wish they made the referees available for, because I would just love to hear the explanation. Like, I could only laugh at it. It's just like, did Rodriguez say something? Was Rodriguez on the ground going, oh my God, I'm gonna die? like, did he say something? Yeah, exactly, Craig. Bennett goes to Leafs next year, and all of a sudden they love him. Mel, what do I think a loss in this series? How do I think a loss in this series would affect the offseason? That's a really good question, because I still have no real sense of what they're doing with Ekblad now that they got Jones. Jones needs to stay on his skates. I don't know, Craig. I think if they lose in this round, I mean, you could see the Panthers justifying how well Lundell, Luosterainen, and Marchand are playing now as a justification to move Lundell up and not re-sign Bennett. I could see that happening right now. I mean, like, they asked Maurice about the third line last night. He says, I don't consider that the third line. So that they could be looking, they could use that as a reason to not re-sign Bennett for one idea. Chat's going really fast. So I'm doing the best I can. To keep up. Krabs, would Ekblad be willing to take a pay cut? He'd have to. He'd have to, because with Jones, Jones is here. Jones is now getting basically Ekblad's money if we would have extended Ekblad. So Ekblad's choice is going to be take a pay cut or go. It's not even I guess I should, if we don't sign Bennett, I mean, that could happen. We could let Bennett walk and give Ekblad money I'm not saying I'm recommending that, but mathematically, it could happen. It could happen. Pente says Cats have too many high caliber players who aren't playing to their best level. It's that simple. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Chopper says, I just think it's over because there's no way we can cook the Leafs without acting dirty. Not saying that's how we play, but it would be the way if you really want to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I disagree. I disagree. Forecheck. Dump it in. Dump the puck in. Get to the red. Get the line. Dump it in. Get the line. Dump it in. No more 2-on-1s. I say the same thing I said at the beginning of the stream. Every time we get a break, there's mostly always two Leaf guys back. Two Leaf defensemen are always back. Get this game to be simple and boring. Washington and Carolina style. Just dump it in, try to win a battle, get a deflection. And that's the only way Panthers are winning this series. Don't worry about hitting guys and pounding them and all of that. Save that energy for the board battles, because every board battle we're losing. We're losing it in the neutral zone, the defensive zone, the offensive zone. We're just being out physical. And I mean, I don't think Maurice is going to make any adjustments that way, but when the Panthers are playing right, we've got a heavy forecheck, and most of the time we're just dumping it in. We're just to be losing these games because Schmidt is pinching and losing his man, and Kulikov is pinching and losing the puck. I mean, that's just not how this team wins games. Now, you could get away with that with Montour and OEL because they had the speed to catch up should they lose the puck. But that's not here anymore. Kay says Jones super low IQ, pinches at the worst times, constantly fumbles the puck. It's kind of a little bit like Ekblad. I don't know. It's a really interesting time looking at the moves that we made and what we've got going right now. I want to focus on this series, but yeah, if things go south here, it's you might need to change the oil. You know what I mean? And I'm not blaming Sam Bennett. I'm not blaming Sam Bennett, but if we lose this series, you might take a look at moving Lundell up, getting a little bit younger and faster, and on defense. You know what I mean? Using Bennett's money to upgrade the back end. I love Kulikov, right? Schmidt. You know, these guys are not all that fast. They're older players, and we might need to upgrade a little bit there. To be honest with you, this is going to sound crazy. After last night, give me Balinskis back on the ice and take Schmidt off. We're too slow. We're too slow. I mean, last night, Schmidt got caught from behind so bad, Bob had to come out and play the puck. But if Balinskis plays, he's got to be on the ice. It's going to please somebody remind him to be on the ice. Keymasher, is the resident swaggy complainer has even complained about yet? No, not yet. But now we all waited for him to turn it on in the playoffs. And if you watch the recap, you know what I'm going to say. I mean, that 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whenever it was, he gets the puck in between the circles. He slides over, and any other playoff series, that puck is in the back of the net, and he missed badly, high and wide. Chopper, yeah, Forsling is having to do a lot. Pancake, Toronto roster is just better in the right spaces, in the matchups. In certain matchups, they definitely are. But to me, it's mainly on defense. We don't have the personnel to do what we did. We've got to be more conservative on defense. Hi, Wi-Fi says Kachuk looks like he's scared to shoot the puck. I don't think he I don't think he can shoot accurately because all his passes are off. Kenneth, yeah, I appreciate that. And it worked to get more subscribers and everything. We had a little bit of, I guess some people got put in timeout towards the end. I'm trying to communicate to my moderators that I only want people put in timeout if it's egregious behavior. So bear with me. I would like people to not get put in timeout unless they're, being happy that somebody got injured, wishing somebody got injured. But if teams are just saying, go Leafs go, or, stuff like that, that stuff's got to be allowed to stay or the channel can't grow. And we've had 2 people in 2 weeks, 2 people in 2 streams get pissed off that. So it's a work in progress. But it was better last night. Last night was the calmest stream we've ever had for a Leaf game ever. Metal says Pollard's brushed off the whole they're tired thing. I don't know if he's just blowing smoke. I mean, Sam Reinhart is either injured, tired, or injured and tired. He's either or both. You know what I mean? Coot says, really don't think it's over. Watching the game and looking at metrics, we had control and loss because of the small moments where there's a lapse. We need to lock it down on rushes and win more faceoffs. Yeah. It's the timing too, right? I mean, every time we score, they come back. And honestly, just if we could just keep the game tied until 1 minute left, maybe we could hold a lead if we scored with a minute left. Vanis says Panthers are doing pretty good, but this is a generational Leafs run. You can't be pretty good to beat the Leafs this year. Even Marchand admitted Leafs feel different this year. Yeah, they finally got the right coach. There's no doubt that coaching is playing. I said this in the series preview, I believe. There's no doubt coaching is playing a role here. And Maurice, I don't take anything about what Maurice says publicly seriously in terms of how he's going to run things. Hopefully he leaves Samoskevich there in the second line. There's nothing to do with Tkachuk. There's any number of players I wouldn't mind seeing in that spot right now, but he's not going to take Tkachuk out. I mean, he said he thought Tkachuk had his best game. I don't know. I think Maurice is going to live and die with the guys that got us here. I don't see any kind of replacements happening. Dietrich says, come back, Cats. Come on, guys. Dang Doomers. We can cry if they lose after, but let's cheer for the win. I was hoping last night. Keymaster says it's the poor pinching plus Reinhart and Swaggy not matching the high power first line. I mean, that's a pretty good synopsis. It's a pretty good synopsis. One of those guys has got to put the puck in the back of the net. And look, traffic in front of wall too. Nobody is getting in front. It's just not happening. James says our defense just has no speed. They need to stop pinching two D-men back, capitalize on Toronto's mistakes. Right. Chopper says, I think we need to dilute the D a little bit. Ekblad wasn't horrible last night. Yeah. Ekblad was fine last night. Maybe put him on the second D with Mikkola, put Jones back with Forsling, and remove Kulikov and put Balinskis in with Schmidt. I don't think Maurice is going to do it, but I wouldn't mind seeing Balinskis on the ice. And I'm not saying he's like speed racer out there, but Schmidt looks really slow right now. And I mean, that's the only guy that we got is Balinskis right now. There's this, I'm thinking, Megna's not really going to be a fast guy right now. But sometimes the players you have just aren't doing it. Case Boquist hasn't had a point in weeks. He hasn't scored a goal since January 25th. I keep saying that, hoping it will get him to score, but it's not happening. Silva says Zito did an amazing job, but we miscalculated how much we need speed. The only line scoring for us is just blowing past everybody. Yeah. Keymasher, no, there is no escape option for Swaggy. Swaggy is swigging with us. Dietrich, they've been close games. I know. It's really, really close. Silva says, "Not screw Belinskas, give me Mahura." Hey, Amanda. Yeah, I'm kind of there with you, Amanda, somewhat. Obviously, of course, I want to win. I like to win a cup when the dog's not dying. There's that. But I got too many good things going on in my life right now compared to where I was last year for me to get really, really genuinely upset, right? I mean, I hate losing, but Toronto's just better right now. Could that change? Could we sneak in a couple of 1-goal wins? Sure. We've had opportunities in both of these games. You know what I mean? As close as the ending of these games were to not come out with a split, it smells like the hockey gods. You know what I mean? Yeah, James, right. Yeah. Penta says Zito needs to trade some high salary players after this season. They've all got no move clauses. They all have. Everybody has no trade, no move clauses, one or the other. I don't know what he's going to pull off there, unless we're going to, give away a guy to give away a guy. Take Rodriguez, get Jones for free, something like that. Case says Rahigi used to have a great shot. Now it's awful. It's just been this year. It's just been this year, right? Penta says Jaws, Toronto has 5 all-star players in the top 6. Pacioretty also was an all-star a year ago, so you could say they have 6. Yeah, no doubt. They've got, but it's not, it's I still don't feel like that's what's beating us. Straight on in the zone time, 5-on-5, and even the power play, I feel like we're fine. It's the rushes, it's the breakaways, and Panthers just not quite finishing their chances the way Toronto is. Jake says that just means the goalie had great positioning, took everything else away. Yeah. Well, Verhaeghe missing high and wide. Yeah. Coot says swap Chuck and Swaggy, change Schmidt for Bali, and take out Boquist for someone else. That's not actually, as I'm thinking about what Coot is saying. If you put Kachuk up top, the defensive liability part will lessen because you got Barkov and Reinhart there. But what can Chucky do? Can Chucky fight for position in front of a net right now? Can he do that? Because I know right now it doesn't look like he can go fight for the puck in the corners. So, and if you get Verhaeghe with Bennett and Samskevich and prey on defense, Momo, do I need a blue and white jersey once the Leafs advance? Yeah, I got one. It's my Tampa Bay Lightning jersey. Do I have it? No, I got a Tampa Bay Lightning hat. I only have a Leafs hat. Yeah, that's all I got right now. No, let's put it this way, Momo. if Florida should lose this series, I would be I would kind of have to root for the Capitals should they get forward, since that's my girlfriend's team. So I like to keep that part of my life safe. Oh, Ryan won a Mammoth jersey. Yeah, that's pretty good. Connor says the Florida Sun is about to rejuvenate the Leaf players. Pente. Yeah, I agree with you, man, for sure. Chopper, in terms of doing that, he says put Forsling with Jones, Meekly with Ekblad, Balinskis with Schmidt. I know Forsling and Jones did work. I mean, I get what you're saying. Spread it out a little bit there. Honestly, I get what you're saying. It's just they got to stop pinching. They got to stop trying to cheat for offense, especially Schmidt. Ryan, you got that, and you got a timeout. What emoji is that? Like fireworks or something? I can't even see it. Oh no, it's just the alarm. You got timed out for that? I know, Dana. I know. Yeah, that's. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Joe says Ruby said he wanted the Leafs to be on the right side of 1-goal games consistently by playoff time. They've been able to do that. Consistency in play has been the key. And they got a good coach. Yeah, exactly, Real. They're not gonna Maurice isn't gonna admit that they're tired, even if they are, right? Let's see what Silva says. Screw it. Take Chucky off the ice. Bennett, Erod, Samuel, third line. First line is okay, but Maurice needs to skate them into the ice tonight. Fourth line should be Nosek, Sturm, Gadjevich. I'd like that fourth line. I actually agree with you there, Silva, on the fourth line right now. He's never going to take Chucky off the ice, though. That's the only problem. I just wanted that. I asked this question. I don't see if anybody answered it. Is there anybody that played hockey? I skated, but I didn't play hockey. Is it a genuine theory of mine that because he can't swivel his hips right because of his groin, that's why all of Tkachuk's passes are off? I mean, they're all off. He looks like he's like not swiveling his hips right. Like he can't shoot the puck in a natural way. Donna says, look, guys, one team is not going to the final. Our team is not from one team is not going to the finals every single year. We just have to comprehend that and move past it. I want to win the series, but maybe it's just catching up with them. I mean, it's totally possible. David, do I see a path where we win this series? Yes. If they do it. Now, we've seen this team just play screws down, super tight, super conservative on defense, and just go into the corners, win those battles, and get the pucks out and put it in the back of the net. Now, I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but that is the only way. If you take away the stupid breakaways that we've been giving up because we're pinching too much, these could be two completely different results. Now, why it continued to happen after game one's disaster, that's a question. Trey says, I don't see a no-move clause on Verhey. Yeah, It's there though, Trey. It's there. They even added the no move clause to this year. It's there. Molo says I'd look good in a blue and white jersey. Oh my God! Can you imagine the hate? Can you imagine the hate? Bobby says Leaf fans love your channel. Any Leaf fan calls and shit need to calm down. I appreciate that, Bobby. No, it's been good. It's been okay. The game one was crazy because of the whole Bennett and Stolarz thing, and I just made it subscriber only. Apparently, still people were getting timed out. I'll have to sort through that why that's happening. Craig says the Leafs definitely upgraded a coach and added key players. Yep. Craig says Chucky's literally struggling to skate at times. Dennis, yeah, he thinks Maurice said that was Chuckle's best game. He's got to be just trying to be positive in front of the media for the players. He can't actually mean that, right? Can't actually mean that. Thomas. Yeah, Donnie says, look at what Paul did for the Panthers, being the right coach at the right time. You could say the same thing with the Leafs and Berube, right coach for the right core at the right time. Yeah, it could be. Or we could be sitting here on Monday tied at 2. Right? That could happen. Pente says Chucky needs to learn to skate better. Thomas says the Panthers shouldn't have given up on Spencer Knight. Well, I mean, he just wanted to play. He just wanted to play. And the assumption is that Bob is going to extend for a couple of years and that Spencer just wasn't going to get a chance to be a starter. You know, Schmidt and molasses, right? James says, as bad as Adam Boqvist was, at least he was fast. That's a good point. Hey, Simon. Yeah, they need to be better at home. They need to be better, need to be a little bit luckier. You just got to win game 3. Like if we can win game 3, it's a series. You move on. I was feeling pretty good about that game yesterday until I started to see the breakaways happening. And it's just we're getting out coached. We're definitely getting out coached. I mean, Toronto's got a good roster. They certainly got, certainly the fourth line, and anytime our fourth line is on the ice, we're getting worked. We're getting mismatched. It's just not Stenlin with Lorentz and Okposo and Lomberg and Cousins. It's just we've got guys that are good players, but we really don't have any big banging fourth line guys that are complete hockey players that can also put the puck in the back of the net. Real says it's been, Boqvist has been bad since we got rid of his brother. It's an interesting thought. Now bring Jovanovski back. Yeah, Mark Stahl, Dana. That's a name. Jake says, I mean, didn't everyone complain about the team playing those conservative win 2-1, 3-2 type games? They changed it up, and lo and behold. Oh, I mean, during the regular season, it gets a little bit boring. I don't know that I would necessarily complain about it. It's just it's stressful. It's stressful. But that's how we need to win, Vincent. Corey, you're saying, can I talk about Ekblad trying to injure a wall? I'm not going to even lie and say that I saw it. I can't speak to it. If I would have saw it, I would engage with that comment. I'm not afraid of it. But I didn't see it. Maybe they might have shown it. I don't know. I guess I would assume there would be a Canadian broadcast that might have focused on that. The broadcast we were watching, I don't even recall seeing a replay about that. Yeah, no disagreement there, Dennis. Trey says Sportrack doesn't have a no-move clause on Swaggy, and Puckpedia says we're stuck with him until 2030. Either way, we can always pull a Rangers Trouba trade and trade him anyway. I mean, yeah, but he'd have to agree to go, right? Would Verhaeghe even agree to go? I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, if Verhaeghe has a second bad year, and a bad year is still 20 goals, we're supposed to be paying him for what he was supposed to tie that game last night. In the contract that he signed, it specifically said in game 2 against Toronto, when we need to tie the series and we're behind by a goal late in the third period, you will score a goal to tie the game. That's literally in the contract. So that's the problem, because that's why he's getting paid for. So, but I don't think getting rid of him immediately is going to happen or an answer. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Jake, the man. Oh, it's a good thing I don't see everything that gets said in the chat during the streams. I had to stop watching it last night because people were 20, 30 seconds behind and people spoiling the goals for us during the game. So I tried to interact with the chat last night a bit, but then I saw the Barkov goal before it went in. I said, well, this sucks. We keep asking for no spoilers, but people keep doing it. Danny says, yeah, I'm keeping it even myself. I think the fact that we won a cup and it's really a once-in-a-lifetime thing for many fans that we accomplished it. Yep. Not over, though. But, yeah. Connor says, Leafs know how to win close games. Ottawa fans were saying the same thing about the games being close. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, no argument there. And Case, yeah, that's a huge variable people are missing in this series. We used to win most of the board battles, and now we're getting outworked. Yeah. I mean, it's just one guy here, one guy there. You know, Barkov looks fine, but he's not in beast mode. He can't be in beast mode all the time. Verhaeghe is trying, even though he's not scoring. He's laying hits. I mean, he's certainly not being a defensive liability right now. Reinhart just not doing the work. And I don't think Chucky can. I just don't think Chucky can go out there and I mean, he's given us what he got. I don't want anybody to think I'm criticizing him. The dude is obviously not 100%. But it's a problem because, I mean, a lot of what we do is predicated on those board battles. And, you know, maybe the team is feeling a little bit of pressure. Maybe that's why they're pinching on D, is because they know behind the scenes, Chucky's hurt, Reinhardt's exhausted. You only can put so much pressure on Barkov. Verhaeghe's not the real board scrapper there. I would move some things around, but the problem is that we don't have guys that you can really move down that translate on the fourth line. Like you could put Rodriguez and Barkov and Reinhardt, and maybe Rodriguez do a little bit of that board work. But even he's been getting rubbed out along the boards a lot this year, or at least this playoff series. And you got Samoskevich, who's really right now only going to work on that second line with Bennett. They've got really good chemistry. So maybe you move Tkachuk up with Barkov and Reinhart to kind of give him a little bit of defensive shielding. But he's not really able to hold his own in the defensive zone in terms of skating with guys. He's okay-ish, but he wasn't a great skater to begin with. So it's a problem. You're not going to take him off the ice. They're never going to take him off the ice. So you start stacking problems, and the solutions are kind of blocked because even if you move guys down, what are you going to do? You're going to have Sturm with Verhaeghe and Tkachuk on the fourth line. you know what I mean? Like you could put Boquist up there in Chucky's spot. He's not going to score, but he's got some speed, and he will go fight in the corner for the puck. I mean, I know we all rag on Boquist. Chucky's not scoring either. He had a couple of goals, but think about it. If you have Boquist in Chucky's spot, you've got somebody there that will go do the dirty work in the corner and can keep up speed-wise defensively and work the puck free to Bennett and Samoskevich. But if you did that, where are you putting Chucky? You want to go Tkachuk. You want to go Barkov, Reinhart, Tkachuk, Bennett, Boquist, Samoskevich. Then Verhaeghe's where? You don't want to break up the third line. So we're stuck in a lot of spots. Craig, I saw that before. Somebody makes an Pulviari on the fourth line, he scores and he hits. I'm not against that idea either. Right? Corey, yeah. My Twitter is at Jawsaholic. At Jawsaholic is my Twitter. There's links in the descriptions for all the videos and everything. Connor says Matthews' back and wrist are hurt. Otherwise, you would be seeing a lot better shots from him. Gotcha. Jake says he considered the Four Nations more important than the Stanley Cup, so maybe he isn't that bothered. He's playing that bad, and he lost that as well. Yeah. He considered the fight more important, really. You know, I mean, it was fun in the moment watching those four fights, but I still wish we would have had more off time. Not necessarily for Tkachuk, but I assumed incorrectly that the guys that got the Four Nations, that went to Four Nations, I assumed that we would have given those guys a little bit more time off, like either when they came back or towards the back end of the season. A game here, a game there, we gave them. But, we should have given guys, when they come back from the Four Nations, 3 or 4 games off, one at a time. You just stagger them because we had so many guys playing there. Patrick. Nyes is a beast, no doubt. Real says maybe they just put their last little bit of energy into taking out Tampa. They hate Tampa way more than Toronto. That's true. That part is true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Four Nations was by far the worst thing. Yeah. Yeah, Jake, I remember him saying that. I didn't want to believe him, but I think he was being honest. So I just remember him saying winning the Four Nations was more prestigious to him than winning the Stanley Cup. Yeah. Hey, Patrick, that's cool. We're all cool here. It's all good. Kay says Boquist is fast, but he's weak as hell. Look how skinny he is. Can't use your speed for anything if you get pushed off the puck so easily. John says the Leafs had their 4 main players in the Four Nations: Marner, Matthews, Nylander. Yeah, the 3. Right. Right, but they didn't also, the Leafs aren't coming off of 2 runs to the Stanley Cup final. You see what I'm saying? All that extra, it starts to add up at some point. Yeah, I know. Nyes is over 240 pounds. The dude is a beast. It's, I would get the hell out of his way. That's for sure. Yeah, Joe, I agree. It's just something that gets lost as teams, including the Panthers, know you can't let Matthews score or you're done. They aren't going to let him do his thing if they can help it. Florida man says, my Bolts ran out of gas against the Avs. It's always eventually that one team to bury you over. Yeah, Chucky did have the injury in Vegas, too. Nobody's taking credit away from the Leafs. Two things can be true at the same time, James. No team, I'll say this again, no team since the 1980s Oilers has made it to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals on full 82-game seasons. And there's a reason for that. It's a lot of hockey. The bodies can only take, it happens to all the teams. And we're just in that moment now where starting to look like that's what could be happening. A lot of the reason why we're playing poorly is because it appears as though we don't have the energy to do the normal things that we would normally do. Dump the puck in, chase it, win the battle to the puck, and then win the puck battle along the boards. It's just, we just lack, there's some of the reasons that we're playing poorly are because we just don't have the energy right now to do what we would normally do. Real says we had Barkov, E2, Lundell, Mikula, Reinhardt, Bennett, Kachuk, and Forsling. I know. Right. Patrick says if you can beat you guys, at least have a real shot. Yeah, Patrick, that's something I thought about last night, is that if Toronto finishes this series off, Leaf fans are going to, at that point, probably be apoplectic if they don't win the cup. Like, imagine beating Florida and then, like, losing to Carolina. You know what I mean? That's one thing I would be mindful of, for me anyway. Trey says, I can't wait until Chicago offer sheets Nyes. Hey, Simon. Weather's good. Weather's good. I got Kyle to the gym yesterday. I didn't get fishing. Oh, I'd probably get fishing today after the pack and ship. Just go out there and throw the rod for a half hour. I had to do some yard work earlier. Things are growing up way too fast. Oh, no, that's cool, James. That's cool. Sometimes I'm, reading the chat. I'm not sure. Silver says, I know we're running out of gas and it's over, but I just wish it was against Ottawa next year's first round. David says, we're controlling decent amount of the games, but horrible defensive lapses killing us. Yep. Geez, Chunky. It's all good. Happy birthday, bud. Bobby, they said it. They said it on TV last night. I don't know where it's coming from, but they said it on TV on our broadcast last night. Ryan says it wasn't Lightning fault because we played 3 straight finals because of COVID. No doubt. Not taking anything away from you guys doing it. It's just, the ability to make it to 3 straight. I mean, there was when there was the stoppage of play, I mean, there was a whole 4 months off, I believe, right? I mean, that's a whole off season for guys to get completely fresh and rested. So my only point there is that the wear and tear on the body just isn't the same as going through a full 82 and a postseason run with no break. But they won those cups with the same rules, fair and square, everybody else did, right? All right, everybody. I am going to roll. Got to get the eBay work done. Panther fans, win a game. Just win a game. Forget about 3 straight cups to the, runs to the cups. Forget about all of it. Go out there in game 3, play it like it's game 7. Doesn't guarantee anything. And probably, I don't know if we have the energy to play 4 game 7s, right? But you got to play game 3 like it's game 7. Because if you lose that game, it's a different conversation. You get it to 2-1, we have a series. So to me, hey, thank you, Jake. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, bud. I said in my series preview that this will be the last thing. I said I had a hard time thinking about a team's going to actually eliminate us. Friday's not an elimination game, but I would expect whatever the Panthers would look like in an elimination game, I expect that we need to see that Friday night. That's what I'll say. All right, Colin, I'll be live tonight for Caps Canes. Another fantastically exciting 8-7 barn burner between Washington and Carolina. Appreciate all the support, and we'll see you tonight